One, two, three, and we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. You don't know it's a boy Abujo Skeng here representing Free Sports TV, and a good show tonight. Usual suspect Jiggy Dan, Sports with Greg, Chian Kirby, and we have finally a Manchester United representative in JR. Yeah. So we're not gonna hold you for long tonight. We're gonna make this short and precise.
Yo, JR, stop it sipping, man.
Hey, this is not Junkin predictions, JR.
Yeah. I'm not doing predictions. Mute your mic, please. Whenever you do that drinking sound, mute your mic, brother.
Anyways, we're not gonna hold this show. Let's get it on. The Premier League. We're gonna run through the results real quick. Not gonna spend a lot of time discussing the games. First game up, Chelsea West Brom. I think everybody got this prediction wrong. JR, the floor is yours.
Jiggy, do you have the chance written down?
Yeah, maybe dash them away because they were kind of incorrect, I wrote down the results from last week, But I think the young lady who cleaned the spot removed all the results.
No, but as I say, anyway, JR, get to the Chelsea game.
Beautiful game. And that's the first thing I have to say. It was a beautiful game. I think as a United fan, as I said, welcome to myself to the stream. This is a beautiful thing to separate the gap between us and the 5th place and the 4th place. As you said, though, I think a lot of people get this wrong when it comes to what the prediction was. I think that when Thiago Silva gets sent off, that was a big turning point in the game. Not saying that was the only reason why, but you can see that he's kind of the lead of that whole defense and everything. You understand what I'm trying to say? So nobody see the 5-2 forward in this whole time. So yeah, I just think it's a one-off glitch, and I think a lot of people are gonna judge Tuchel right now. I mean, you can't use one result for kind of judge him. And based on that, we'll go later on in the show. We are talking about the Champions League, so you can see him recover back from today, right? So nothing too major. I just say every side have that blip. United lost big result this season, so everybody have that blip, So and then forward back and then deliver today. So yeah.
All right, well said. Greg, what you have to say? All right, moving on. Jig, you want to add to that?
My joy was short-lived because, Arsenal disappointed me after that.
You have time for that. You are talking about the Chelsea game.
That was a surprising result. I think somebody picked a close game, though. Somebody picked, other than the Brit.
I think Ricky picked a 1-1 or something like that.
Other than the Brit. Who they played again? Was it West Brom?
If you pick 1-1 and the game done 5,
I was actually touting West Brom, saying that Big Sam has 2 weeks for the international break to work with them, so anything is possible. You guys don't remember me saying that?
Listen,
you didn't say that.
Let's keep the discussion honest now. Sports Wiz. Thiago Silva got a red card in the 27th minute. Before that,
I don't care.
Chelsea was bossing the game the entire time. Matter of fact, I don't think they had one shot on goal in the first 40-something minute. West Brom, one shot, and that was in the 41st minute when Kurt Zuma made a mistake, right, and allowed Pereira, whoever his name is, to come in and score that goal. So let's be honest. Let's be honest with the game. Chelsea had that game. Tuchel had a game plan that was working, and Silva gave it away. And that's all there is to this story. They had nothing going for them. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, you didn't even see a plan from what a Big Sam. I don't know what Big Sam was trying to do, but Silva gave the game away.
Yeah, but I disagree. If a Chelsea and one person gets sent off, sometimes I've heard commentators say that it's harder to play against 10 men, so you can't just fall apart after one person get sent off. It will be interesting to see how them progress from here. Now they can get a good result today, but let's see how them progress in our Premier League. Goal scoring for Chelsea is still an issue. So let's see how them progress from here. But I wouldn't just take all credit for West Brom because it was still 0-0 after and them score 5 goals. So let's give them a little bit more credit.
Chelsea was leading.
Okay, all right. Even better then, right? So and then come back and score 5 goals after that. So give him a little bit more credits. Let's see what happens after this, because there are still issues with scoring goals at Chelsea. Next game.
Relegation. West Brom is out. So I don't even know.
They just might be.
All right. Leeds 2, Sheffield 1, which I predicted.
I don't remember what happened.
Jiggy, you go first this time.
Yo, I predicted actually Sheffield 3-2. I think that was my prediction. And because I expected Sheffield to win the game, but they lost the game on an own goal, which is fine. It's a part of football. It's very, very tough, especially a team that has not been playing well to go out there and actually play a good football game and then lose on an own goal. I see how that can hurt, and it's just probably they never had a chance of not being relegated, but now even more so. I think that for the rest of the season they're going to be like the beating stick, just like the start of the season for the other 8 games. So, I mean, not much to say about the game. Leeds was the better team, but I expected Sheffield to give an account of themselves. They did, and they lost on an own goal. So there's nothing you can do about that. That's how it is. Part of football, it hurts, but you have to just move on.
Okay. Jerry, want to add to that? Make it quick.
No, definitely. As if everybody ever watch Drunken Predictions, me have always said that personally, it's hard to say as a Man United fan because of the history of Manchester United have with Leeds. But me do enjoy watching Leeds play. I think when we watch them play against Sheffield, where I know Jiggy said a while ago them win by a own goal, obviously. But I think them deserve to win the game. That's my personal opinion. I agree with what Jiggy said, which for the rest of the season, Sheffield can go on a downward spiral right now. There's no hope at this point. There's not much motivation to play for right now, So Leeds, well-deserved win. I'm very happy to see how them perform. They play one of the most unique brand of football I think a lot of us have ever seen for a champion side to come up to the Premier League in a long time. And, definitely enamored by watching them play all the time. So Leeds, good result.
All right. Not gonna spend any more time on that. Just the fact that you said not much to play for Sheffield. Jiggy and Greg mentioned the last time that Palace has not much to play for. I'm gonna tell them, say, look, they have a lot to play for. And see there, Everton 1 and Palace 1. Shane, you start on this.
Honestly, again, it's Everton, right? Again, remember when I said that them have games in hand, and it's Everton. You feel like you build them up and then just bring you right back to earth, really. Them just now progress as people would want to think they have been. You understand? So I think they can go be, like I said, around that 6, 7, 8 in our Premier League, and it just is what it is. As far as this Palace, I think it's a point gain, right? For them, for solidify them Premier League status, and that's all their ambition is. For Everton, they have to be disappointed. Them not score goals them they should be, and again, they just feel like it's Groundhog's Day again. It's not different from David Moyes Everton, and that's the issue. Everybody's in love with Carlo Ancelotti and they love his eyebrows and all of these things. I mean, more like your favorite uncle. But at the same time, he's still this, like, again, it's no difference. And then they spend money too, but it's no difference from David Moyes Everton, right? Can't defend, no matter who them bring in. It's just the same thing. Again.
All right. Good point. But me always say this about Everton. Everton seems to struggle whenever Ames is absent, and he played and he got the goal, just like Crystal Palace struggle without Zaha. So I guess you can pretty much put them in the same boat. Greg, anything you want to add?
I did actually want to comment
Greg,
on
you
the
want to add?
Leeds game. Yeah, I wanted to comment on the Leeds game, but
All right, say it.
that
Say
one
it
passed me by.
fast.
As far as the Everton Palace game, not much to say there for me. I mean, it was a dull game, if you ask me. Everton, I expected more, and even though Shane say, yeah, it's like David Moyes, Everton, they have the quality players, They have some good tacticians in midfield. you expect them to be able to do something, but it still hasn't happened. I mean, they haven't found back that form from what, like the first 10 games of the season, where, you know, we were mentioning them and the other Merseyside club as potential top 4, you know, teams, but no, both of them is fighting Arsenal for Europa League spot. How far the mighty have fallen. But anyways,
You're
yeah.
talking about Arsenal. You're talking about Arsenal. While ago, when they said the mighty has fallen, right? I can't ever turn out that, but
No, Liverpool.
Bro, we're in the Champions League. And, yo, let me talk about the game, bro, because I disagree with these.
Yeah, me too. But go ahead.
Like the game. Well, first of all, the game wasn't dull. This has nothing to do with Ancelotti. This game that I watched, Ancelotti had a perfect strategy. The person I'm going to blame from this game is Richarlison. I'm a Brazilian fan, but he deserved to get beaten with board. Honestly, it's unbelievable. He missed 4 goals on top of the 6-yard box. This is not one of those things where you say, oh, we got a couple shots on goal from outside of the 18 and the keeper. He missed 4 opportunities during that game on top of the 6-yard box. Right? This is totally on Richarlison. The Evertonian, the management, the owners probably need to go out and get another winger. Yeah, they need to go out and get another winger. To put pressure on Richarlison to play better. Because what they did,
go out and get the experience a top striker, but another wingers. I mean, how much wingers do you need? But no, I'm sorry, I apologize.
But no, go ahead. No, but that's why it's a debate. Go ahead with your point. I'm saying that Richarlison really didn't do service to this game. You can't, as a winger, you can't miss those opportunities because he had Lewin occupying the 2 centre halves and had Richarlison running in behind him, and he got tons of opportunity and he didn't do anything with them. What do you want a coach to do when he said, here's 4 opportunities clear, you want the goalkeeper and kick them away? That's all I'm saying. That's what I saw.
I'm not saying the coach should do anything, because I think we'd all agree that Carlo Ancelotti is a good coach. The point I said before the season is that they might need a more prolific striker than. Well, I said they do need a more prolific striker than Calvert-Lewin. And started off his season very well, but he hasn't been able to continue that. So what you get is a player who is very good and have really potential. But when you start chasing things, you can't go on scoring droughts because then you lose out. You understand what I mean? And then you end up basically hoping that your number 10 / winger score the goals them, which he has been. He has been doing funny thing, but it just never happened to him. I'm happy for him this game. In the end, they can't defend. I don't. Them defending is not good enough, and their striking options is not of top 4 quality. If you ask me, go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, Greg. Mute yourself, Greg. But you know. What exactly we think is the difference between Everton starting the season versus now? Because I think when we watched them start the season, I think they was playing wonderful stuff. I think a lot of it contribute to both some of what Shane said and both of what Jiggy said. I think yesterday, as Jiggy said, Richarlison shouldn't finish off that game, to tell you the truth. You know, the chance them as not 1, as not 2, is 3. As Jiggy says, multiple chances from a close range for a quality player like Richarlison you'd expect. But at the same time, I understand where Shane coming from as well, where they said defense is not the best. But what do y'all think about the depth of Everton whenever it come down to like these multiple competitions and stuff? Do y'all think stuff like that play a contributing role to them, mid-season form dipping like this? I don't think the side have enough depth to be even compete in multiple competitions like that.
They don't have a backup striker, bro. Who's the backup striker? Is Cheng Toussaint still there? Because I don't know. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And then get then get the kid from Bournemouth, but he's not really a striker. You understand? And again, it's just not. Again, they're a good quality team, and they will finish in a Europa League places.
And they have Ayobi as a backup winger, who is not worth 40 million. He was a reject, and look at Arsenal. He's a good
player. He's a good player, like all the 5 players that they have.
That was money well spent.
Just like Bernard and all of these players, they have good players there. But what are you gonna do? It's just not happening for them. Go ahead, Greg.
Jiggy, maybe I said them need a next winger because Richarlison did not play good as a winger. He isn't playing as a winger. He's a second striker. That way you need to realize he's playing. As a matter of fact, when Calvert-Lewin is out, he's the number 9. When Calvert-Lewin is there, he's playing as a second striker. You know, Saturday game he play a 3-5-2 or 3-4-1-2, something like that. He play with wing backs. Yeah, 3-4-1-2 because he still use the number 10. He still use James as number 10. But in some games he go 4-4-2 and use James, who is a winger, as I mean, he's not winger, right or left midfielder, but he has the option to cut inside and play like a 10. So they don't really use wingers like that. They use like wide midfielders. You know?
Yeah, so my point is that when you have these players who are fringe stars, you need somebody else who can push them to take away their spot. If there was someone on that bench who could push Richarlison to say, hey, if you're not playing well, you're going to sit. For example, let's not compare them to City, but if you look at City team, they have tons of wingers, tons of people who can play false 9. If you're not playing well, they go sit down. So I'm saying to you that who is that quality individual up front who would put Calvert-Lewin on the bench or who would put Richarlison on the bench if they're not finishing off the opportunities, if they're not tracking back and helping out as the coach wants them to. There's nobody on the. You can't. If you ever say, okay, I'm going to take off Richarlison and put on Iobi in his place to play that same position, is he going to score? No, he's never. He's never been known as a scorer. If you put on Chen Tusen, he hasn't done anything in the Premier League. That's the thing I'm talking about.
Well,
yeah.
Well, Nigeria, part of that, you can blame the coach for his.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Well, and Butcher, just one more thing, real quick.
Let's wrap it up.
I mean, over the summer, he brought in what, 3 or 4 more midfielders. I think like 3 more midfielders he brought in. He already had some midfielders. I'm not saying that they were good like Dakori and Allen, but he didn't fix the attack. He didn't bring in any attackers. And on top of that, he got rid of Moise Keane. Who was the coach that got rid of Moise Keane? So he got rid of his backup striker, didn't bring in any attackers, and just brought in extra midfielders. So part of that blame has to fall at his feet too. Anyway, like Bo just said, enough for Everton and Palace.
Yeah, we could have gone about it, but just let's move on.
Yeah. By the way, how Blacks depend in the comment section so much, and he couldn't make it tonight.
That's what I'm saying. Anyways, Jiggy have him field day. Liverpool, Arsenal.
Are we got this already? Oh, so
thanks get it out of the way.
Thanks everyone for showing up for this segment. It's amazing, right? I can say I probably called it 3, right? That's what I said, 3, right? Right, and my favorite player for Liverpool now, Diogo Jota, who is much better than Havertz and Werner, whatever that those German. Greg, please forward back on the. You must have some, what you call it now, some emotional stability when you're talking about Arsenal. They can't just run off and be upset, right? It was a very good game. Arsenal, once again, didn't offer us anything at all, right? Didn't offer us a fight. It was like a training for us. As we discussed, it was training. It was training session. Every Arsenal fan know that. The Liverpool game was a training session. Everything we discussed in the live, the prior to this game, happened. So basically, he played Thiago further forward, allowed our Mane and Salah and Jota and Firmino to be free, and the creativity just flowed all over the field. I was very happy with what Klopp did on Saturday. On Saturday, I was happy with how the team played, but Arsenal really didn't offer anything. So can I judge the team? No. All we can say with us, we just basically finished off a wounded animal. But because they never really offered us anything at all. And I don't even know how to judge Liverpool based off that game because we were just basically doing training ground exercises to see, Kabak was controlling the ball in the 18 and just walking out. It was unbelievable display by the Liverpool young centre halves, like taking on the ball in the 18 with Obama, Lacazette around him, Bama around him, and just walking out of the 18-yard box. That's ridiculous. So how can we even give an opinion on the game other than I'm glad that they win? There's nothing you can take from the game. Like you don't know how good Liverpool was. You don't know how bad Arsenal was because the game was actually like a training session for me, and I enjoyed the win. That's as much as I can say.
Me just comment on that real quick. Well, I under Greg, man, because you can't delete yourself in time, man, and disrespect your side, and then come back and you want to speak. Well, you just want to call over there, somebody. But hear me, just to continue upon what Jiggy said a while ago. Personally, I never watched the whole game. You'd have to leave after a particular point. But I just want to comment and say I agree with Jiggy when him say Diogo Jota to me has been one of the signings of the season. I think when for the price what we pay for Liverpool pay for Diogo Jota, and when you think about the impact him have, I know a lot of time we talk about Van Dijk leaving and getting injured and not there for a long time, but also when we talk about the impact where Diogo Jota have on that team as well as a backup option for like the major front three, right? And Jiggy just touched on this in the previous conversation about Everton for just pushing somebody there to push the other people to perform even higher standard. And I think every time I watch Diogo Jota play, him really, I don't know why, but him fit good, very good in the club system, right? I don't know how, but he's a very good player, man. And honestly, one of the signings of the season for me, and hopefully he'll have a bad season for the rest of the season because they know it's a Liverpool that. But other than something that's on my few options. Greg, I apologize, sir. The floor is yours, Mr. Sportswiz.
Yeah, I can say something about Jota.
Yeah.
He does one thing different from all our three players. Salah, Mane, Firmino, they all hold up the ball. And he runs into the box and kicks it every time. He doesn't care. He kicks it, and it's something that separates him from all those players. Because Mane will sit there, hold the ball, trying to get into his comfort zone. But Jota, once he breaks and he sees the goal, he's going to kick it. Outside of the 18, inside of the 18. So the more you kick it, even if it's a 30% conversion rate, you're going to score goals. And that is one thing he does different from all three players. We saw it in the Champions League, but he missed kick and it went to Salah. We saw it over the weekend against Arsenal. We see it every time, every other games he scores for Liverpool now. So, I mean, good stuff.
Shane time, Army.
Your time.
All right, so I have no complaints much about this game, other than the fact that we'll go there and look dull. I mean, how can you not attack a team with two rookie central defenders? How can you not put on the utmost pressure upon them? I mean, why go there and show Liverpool so much respect? Liverpool hasn't been playing good over the past, I don't even know how many games. And you go up against them and practically pull a Brendan Rodgers, because that's what Rodgers tend to do sometimes when he faces the big teams, you know. He tend to play a bit more withholding and try to counter-attack, if you ask me. But I mean, I could complain. I mean, I could say that, you know, some of our most influential players in attack were missing Smith Rowe and Saka, but Jared, calm down. They have been our most influential players in attack. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you this. Okay? No, I could complain about that, but at the same time, we still had the experience, Lacazette, Aubameyang out there, Pepe, you know, Odegaard. I don't know if we were just not playing the ball to him or what, but I did not see him in the game. He was not present. Shane, you had something?
Well, I wonder. Just that's a couple points really. It's not gonna be. I wonder if did miss Granit Xhaka. Well, you see, this I think, you know, it's a funny thing with Xhaka because enough people don't rate him, but when they don't really miss him. I think Sibelius. I thought Sibelius was poor. I think gonna miss David Luiz. And gonna miss Saka and Smith Rowe. He really did. And again, when I come to a point where I'm looking at it again. And it's Aubameyang. He play up on the left and him out of position and he not play well. And he not half-eye team anything. No, to be fair, they want to play very deep and enough time you have for the track back and the help out. It wasn't good enough, but it hasn't been good enough. And when it's funny too, because Arteta, remember when we go on this win streak, right? It was with Aubameyang being outside team, when we go on a win streak, and he was kind of forced into playing, kind of never really play the Arsenal kids them either, right? And the team never did that well, and then start play the kids them and they start work. So eventually, you have to go looking at yourself and say, should I play Aubameyang or put him on the bench a little bit, making him sit? And I said, I'm put back in Emil Smith Rowe and put back in Saka whenever they're available. But the Aubameyang thing not work right now. You have to reshuffle the pack and play people who are actually perform. Not because you pay him 350 grand a week. You have to shoehorn him in a team. It's ridiculous.
Unfortunately, it seems like when Lacazette and the kids play, like it's more fluid. You see more fluidity from them more than when it's Aubameyang up there. One, because Lacazette can hold up the ball. He's better at doing that. To me, he's a better passer too. He has better control. Aubameyang has the movement and the finishing over him. But if you're looking at someone to link up and incorporate with these young midfielders, to me it is Lacazette. But anyways, like we said, it was a horrible performance, horrible showing from us. Very, very disappointed because I expected us to give more. Honestly, I know a lot of people when they heard me say I expect Arsenal to win. I was not joking. The way Liverpool was playing, I did not expect us to go out there and go in our shells. JR, calm down.
Hey, when them put on when I realized Milner was starting, I was wondering if Arsenal stood a chance. But I mean, when Milner outplays Thomas Partey, it's unbelievable.
Stop it foolish. Milner now playing Thomas Partey, but you move.
Do you want us to look at the stats to see how much they run? I don't really look at stats, sir. But do you want us to go and pull up the stats? Arsenal fans.
So Fabinho wasn't in that midfield.
Hold on.
Fabinho was not in the midfield. It was Milner who would took over that midfield.
I don't look at stats too much, but I can go pull up the stats to see how much Milner run.
I'm not talking about stats too much. You're not supposed to watch games and analyze games.
I watch the game and we boss the game in every facet of the game. You have no point, Greg. Every facet of the game. Midfield. Which did
Fabinho control the midfield.
So which team he play for, Greg? Oh, thanks.
Jiggy, I talk crap then now, man. Sometimes you just make up stuff and in your head you feel like I say it's correct.
Hold on. Liverpool and Arsenal play on Saturday. And in every facet of the game we boss Arsenal. What point in which player played well for Arsenal? Give me one player that played well for Arsenal.
I didn't say any of them play good, but you're telling me that Milner boss Partey, like it was a one-on-one duel and Milner had the better of Partey. Come on, man.
No, I'm just trying to understand. He played better than Partey.
Your whole team played good. The whole Arsenal team played bad.
So you're challenging me for saying Milner played better than Partey.
If you were to pick out someone for exceptional game, it would have been Trent Alexander-Arnold. Okay? That's the player you would pick out for exceptional game.
What I'm saying is that that game that we watched on Saturday, there is no player that could make Liverpool team. We wouldn't take one player and put it on the team, the game only from the game that we watched, to play Liverpool team the way they played. Not one. Partey could not go in the midfield because he didn't play well against 36-year-old Milner, sir. Just admit it. You don't have to be frustrated. It's fine.
I'm not gonna admit bullshit.
It's fine. It's
this
fine.
This don't make sense. This don't make sense. Why should I admit it?
We boss a team, Greg.
And I agree to that. Nobody in our team played good.
Hey, Jiggy, man, they talk to you.
Anyway, too much time talking about Arsenal. Let's get to the other. Quick and fast. Quick and fast.
Let's iron this out right here.
Villa 3, Fulham 1. Shane.
You missed the City Leicester game, right?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Shane, you have a floor.
Okay, yeah. I watched a little bit of this game. I didn't watch all the game. It's a good result for Villa. It's a tough result for Fulham. The game. For most of the game, it's funny because when we watch most of the game, it really seemed like a game and go draw. And it's after them put on the substitution, Villa put on Trezeguet, it kind of changed. And again, it's a bad result for Fulham. They move on, onwards and upwards. And we see how it go, but it don't look good for Fulham, to be honest.
I'm not gonna lie. That's one of the games I never watched this weekend, so I don't have too much to say on there.
Fulham game, Fulham started out well, bro. Fulham started out well. as I said, I expected Fulham to actually go ahead and I think it was going. I think I put it as a draw, but someone for like Trezeguet who hasn't scored all season to come in and score 2 in quick succession is deflating and would be deflating for any team because nobody was paying attention to him really, But I mean, for Aston Villa, I think it could be a springboard because they finally get a win without Grealish. A very good win actually, because obviously Fulham has something to play for, And as football fans, even though I'm personally not a fan of any of the teams, you like watching some good football, and it was good football because Fulham went out there and tried to win that game. But the Aston Villa players really did the job in the second half, and you just have to sit back as a football fan and enjoy just the sheer joy of these players when they're going on to get that win. But Fulham, Scott Parker is going to be very disappointed because they're really trying to. I think if they had won, they would have been out of the relegation zone, right? I think if they had won, they would have been out of the relegation zone, and they end up losing in the last 20 minutes. So I mean, it's a tough loss. Hopefully they can rebound. I think they have like 8 games left. But hopefully they can rebound and put on some more quality football for the rest of the season for us to enjoy. Even though I still think they are going to get relegated.
All right, cool. Southampton, Burnley. This we get wrong for sure. JR, you want that one?
No, there's one a few games I've watched. I don't go watch most of the major games. I never watch neither of them 2 games that we just talked about. So I don't want to sit down here and provide false narratives like more watch the game, but I never watch that game there.
I think that was one of the game that we said that nobody was going to wake up early and actually watch Sunday. That's what we kept saying. Like, No.
Either way, 30 minutes. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Hey, I told you now to skip over me.
City.
Yeah, I don't know why mother.
And I actually watch both games. Watch a Fulham game. I'm wake up early and watch a Southampton game. And surprisingly, the game was exciting. The game was an exciting game, because when I watch it, I say, hold on, I can't the game away. I say go finish probably 0-0 draw or something like that.
2-2.
3-2.
No, I said 2-2 when I say a 2-2 was the prediction.
Yeah, but you finished 3-2, and Ings look like he's ready again. Like he probably won that Euro call-up spot. I'm surprised Ward-Prowse played because earlier in the week we were hearing that he wasn't gonna play, and that's why I had made a draw prediction because I was like, Southampton with that flat midfield, they're not gonna have anything to offer, But surprisingly, he was fit again to play, and he offered a lot, So it was an exciting game. If you didn't watch it, you missed a decent all English league style football game. And as far as the Fulham game, Bojo, no, quickly, I'm surprised they start Mitrovic, but it was working out good in the early part of the game. I don't know where it went wrong for them, but when the game started, like the first 20-25 minutes, I was saying that, okay, this could be another win for Fulham, Try to take them, what? Is it, they're still what? How much points are they below the escape zone right now? About 4?
We are talking, right? Fulham?
I think I did 5 the last time.
3 points, man. Because I think Newcastle 3 points.
If then they win the game, they would have been out of the relegation zone.
Okay, so I was hopeful for them.
Wrap up fast.
Yeah.
All right, finish. All right. To the nice neighbors, as JR would have said, and Leicester. Yeah, smile. Yeah, man. Go on.
Man, listen.
JR, you talking up.
Yeah, man. May you hear me? Man, listen to me. I say. Personally, from I watch this seasons, and I just watch them. Even that's the game the other day. For those Leicester, which is a very good football team, that's what I agree. For just how them surely dominate that game and just how City has been dominating every game this season. I think the Premier League is in trouble for a couple of years, That's what my assessment of that game is. When you think about the squad that them play, they didn't even play them A team, to tell you the truth. They basically played half A, half B team, and still come out and just dominate the game. A top 4 side like that is very impressive, man. God forbid them get Haaland, because I'm here to my link to Haaland. If they get Haaland, there's no say, Jiggy, no more championship years. You better enjoy the one we have from about 10 years from last year. Yeah, but honestly, one of the most best side we've seen in the Premier League era when it comes to full depth and everything. And if we can play the Champions League this midweek and them coming up and just change up the whole squad like that, it's very impressive.
But you're Pep Guardiola saying now get Haaland.
Yeah, but
him says zero chance. He's not going to pay that wages.
Yeah. And again, one thing we have to always do is make sure we kind of don't overreact to what we see, right? So what was it? Chelsea with Jose Mourinho, they had like the best team ever, and we think so they would never win. Remember that team with Eden Hazard when they win the league at a canter, and then the next season they flop again. This
15th,
league
then finish 15th.
Exactly. So this league have a way of humbling even the team them what seems like
10.
Okay. But this league have a way of being competitive, even when we think say the team. Look at Liverpool last year when people think said there was no stopping them. Look.
Bro, don't pick up Liverpool, bro. It's Klopp that caused this year. That's easy.
It's Klopp that caused it. But again, we can say that Pep Guardiola can cause Fimon downfall because he's he outsmart himself. And I think by him, if other striker this half season, and a very good one too. Then
them definitely gonna have a striker.
The same thing, huh?
Maybe not had Haaland, but them definitely gonna have a striker this summer, especially with Aguero leaving. But if we're supposed to be honest, I know me think about it. This argument to me is the best Premier League side would say for at least the last 10 years. That's just me personally. When they come to the sheer will of the quality of players and just the depth of squad where them have. Like, them literally can put out them B-side and beat most people team. Them bench can literally come and play for anyone outside of our support right now. When you think about them bench, a lot of them centre-backs, a lot of them midfielders, they can't come on most side what we have right now. I try to think about right now, I try to think about like which other team we have in the last couple of years where couldn't even have the sheer will and just the quality and the depth of what them have. It's very impressive, man, I lie. And if a lot of teams that go out there and spend big this summer, that'll be next year. I understand what you say, a lot of things can change suddenly, but unless other teams go invest this summer, I think Chelsea have the best chance next year with the owner where them have to go out next year and kind of really give out the fight where they take to keep up with City, because say Abramovich will go out there and spend big because say it's an ownership structure where believe in winning. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, we're more of a very more business-minded structure where we're not going to go in there and spend 150, 180 million dollars to keep up with City. That's all money I spend. So, unless something weird happen, them definitely going to dominate the league for a little bit, unless some of them players leave, like how Sané want to leave or so. But very impressive, man. I like you. Very impressive.
They are impressive. But Ahmed says that if the team were going to get 100 points, it probably was better than this team. Like
you mean in terms of depth of players?
In terms of players, because they had
quality?
Bro, listen, man, they had a Aguero that was firing. They had
David Silva. What did I fire?
David Silva, like what do you?
They had an older David Silva was like 36.
Bernardo Silva. So they had and they had a Sané. What are you talking about? They struggled in this season. Let's not get carried away. They could struggle again.
They put in. Boy, I've put everything together. They were playing Ake and Martinez, I think, for the first part of the season. And they never stuck. They never stuck.
They're part of the team, though.
But Shane,
they're part of the team, but they've added quality talent to the team since then. And the team that we are seeing now is probably one of the best teams we've ever seen. When you talk, because I think if all of us chose a City team, we'd all choose 5 different teams. So I don't even think Pep knows who is the best team is. I don't think
many can say that, BJ.
For add to Shane's point, right? JR, which one of City current defenders is a Vincent company?
None, but by the end of the day, none of them is. But at the end of the day, we can with them bring in Ruben Diaz not as good as no, don't get me wrong, because it's not as good as Vincent Company. But last season, that was what was lacking last season with them team, and them fixed that problem by bringing in Ruben Diaz, right? As Jiggy said, they may have a lot of these players now, and them adding more even quality now. And the thing is that when I think about where they are now compared to where they was in the season, but they start the season with a lot of problems when it comes to, like, not motivated. The pandemic, a lot of things, no fans, nothing. I promise you, if this team have 170,000 fans in the stadium right now with the extra additional motivation, I promise you, me feel as if they would have way more points than they do right now. I think when the season starts, if you watch how City General play, then compared to now, you're gonna see the difference with, the quality, how them run, how them act, how them behave. It's a big difference.
Them striking place is still an issue. The fact they don't have a striker. Go ahead, Greg.
Go on, Greg.
You touch my topic.
Insert yourself, Greg.
Leave my topic to me, boss. JR, it's not the Vincent Company omission alone, that wasn't the only missing piece that affected them last year. They didn't have a striker. They didn't have a go-to striker. I mean, they still don't have one this season, but you can see we are in games where, like, teams hunker down and decide, okay, we're going to defend with 12. It's hard at times for them to break down teams. No, when he had no choice but to use Aguero and he had to go to him, he had a go-to striker. A striker like that is gonna find a way when the chips are against you. I mean, just like Drogba back in the day, Chelsea with a defense fee 91 minutes, and in the 92nd, Drogba get a chance and do something, or he get a quarter chance and do something with it. So City is missing that as well now too. So I would say the team a couple of years ago that won, I would say that team was way more fluid than this team, bro. This team is not as fluid as that team, trust me. But then, I mean, you had, no offense to Rodri, but Fernandinho at his best, Rodri can't compare. I mean, Fernandinho was doing so much work in there. De Bruyne didn't have to get back and go defend. De Bruyne was playing like a number 10. Wasn't that the season that De Bruyne almost broke the assist record too?
I think that's the last season. I think that was
last
one
season he went close to it.
Yeah.
Okay. He was playing more like a number 10 then, because he didn't have to worry about getting back so much. So I think that season was way more fluid.
The 100-point season is when Kevin De Bruyne got injured, and then actually Bernardo Silva.
Dropped in the
and then they had Leroy Sané playing great stuff for them.
Honestly, the more we listen to this conversation. Yeah, the more we listen to this conversation, it comes to the question where we have to think about, as Jiggy always said last year, is Pep a better coach than Klopp? And we talked about it at a different date, but me kind of not like, but to watch Pep right now, how much he adapt to the team and no striker and everything, it's been very impressive. I'm not lying. So
we can talk about Leicester City. So the last live, I said that I don't think Brendan Rodgers should play 3 at the back, and Shane and Greg say he's gonna play 3 at the back. But he didn't use Seonko, he used Amarte or whatever his name is. And to me, I thought that was a ridiculous move, honestly, because he played 3-5-2, and he put Perez there to play probably a fluid role, maybe a 3-4-1-2. But Perez was ineffective, bro. When he had Priat sitting on the bench, who to me is a more sensible baller to play that type of, and he asked the wildest man on the field to play the number 10 role, which is unbelievable. Out of a man like Brendan Rodgers, who we have touted as a tactician. It was an unbelievable setup, because I remember saying that if you put Shea at the back, Pep is going to destroy it, and he got destroyed, right? Because I just can't believe that Brendan Rodgers would, but then again, as we have all seen, when he goes up against the big teams, he tends to sit back and does this. But he was in such a good groove with the team. I expected a different setup, and when I saw it, especially, and it was Amarte, I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. And Perez was ineffective. What he explained, what he wanted him, you kept hearing the commentator say, oh, he's playing this role to try and steady the ship against Manchester City's team. He was ineffective. He was confused between linking up with Vardy, linking up with Iheanacho, and trying to get back and help Ndidi in the midfield. He was confused, right? That's why they have to bring on all the players in the second half, which is something that I wouldn't have thought of. I don't think anybody would have thought of to put Perez in that position, and Perez is not the cerebral player.
In the end, the big players, you understand? So So Leicester, they didn't have a James Madison, right? But in the end, the big players them kind of made a difference. So Kevin De Bruyne, remember him? He's kind of good at football, right? So therefore, those kind of players always make a difference. You know, we can't talk about tactics and try to outsmart ourselves, but again, the big players they always seem to turn up in these games and really make a difference, and that's what happens. You know, Brendan Rodgers again. If you miss certain players, it's difficult. If you bring in and try to match things and make it work, but again, Kevin De Bruyne is pretty good, and that's
Yeah.
I think I think that's the issue really. You know.
Well, hey, Bojo, big game time now. Cause we're not talking about the big game yet. Still in them.
We're not get to it yet. West Ham and Wolves. This was a very
Jay
good.
Lings.
This was a very good game. Greg,
Yes,
from Gears. Greg, you have the floor.
William Jose, worst Brazilian ever. Go ahead, Greg.
Every week you give a title to somebody else.
Him and Joey Linton, and one square and one miss.
I mean, in all fairness, like I said the other day, Brazil haven't have a real good striker in a long time, so you don't have a lot to pick from. You have a lot of wingers and midfielders, but not strikers. Anyways, who else watched the game and was thinking another Arsenal for West Ham? Because it was starting to look like that. If what's the name? If Wolves players were better finishers, Shane Ball, my name Podence and Neto, and the favorite Spanish Mali and Traore, if they were better at finishing, even though West Ham had a couple chances in the late in the game, especially that run. Antonio was it that chance? Yeah, they had a couple chances late in the game too. But Wolves were very wasteful after they made it 3-2. And it could have been, I mean, it would have been interesting to see if that game had gone 3-3, what would have happened, because West Ham wouldn't have any choice but to continue go for it. Jesse Lingard would have to stop faking hamstring injury, you know. Not see how somebody got on with a hamstring injury that many times and still continue play whenever a team have the ball. But old tricks, I guess. You learn that from Manchester. But it was a good game. It was high intensity, you know, some good tactical stuff, which, you know, normally put on a West Ham game. You don't normally see that from a West Ham game, really. But yeah, it was a good game. All right, Butch, yeah, all right.
Yo,
All right.
on talk. Yo, the Wolves West Ham game, phenomenal, bro. Phenomenal game. Jesse Lingard, I've said it many times and continue saying it. Jesse Lingard is a lock for England. Anybody who want to believe that they're going to start for England, it's over. Don't worry about it, right? Because of that freedom. The first half goal when he run from his half, go up the line, and Antonio brought the two defenders with him, and he got to the left and kick it over the keeper. Phenomenal stuff. Actual high quality. And the other one, go ahead, sir.
Jiggy, he's a lock for England, not because he's that good a player, but because Gareth Southgate is the coach and hold him close to him heart. He ain't that good. He's not that good.
Well, I know, but Jesse Lingard is scoring, and he can. West Ham gave him a role that he's striving in. You can't fault David Myers or Lingard for that. I know for him, you know. What are we gonna do about it?
What I'm gonna say is that I'm not gonna take long, but I'm just gonna make one small sentence, but one thing I can say about what Jiggy said about Jay Lings are gonna be in the England squad. One thing about Gareth Southgate, him trust the people and what him trust. That is one thing about Gareth Southgate. And the second thing I think Jesse Lingard is a different type of player compared to most other people in the England squad with the role where he can possibly play in the squad. So when you think about a combination of all that type of things, I think him definitely be a part of the squad.
JR, let me ask a question, JR. Why was Jesse Lingard not playing the role Daniel James is playing?
Different type of players, and the coach will have is an idiot. But we'll move on to the next game. How
can Daniel James start on the right over there, so? I don't know, say, okay, Jesse Lingard, you can't get any game.
but Jiggy, but we have to also think about things now. And whenever Jesse Lingard was at Manchester United, he was not. Remember, we have a time when we were talking about Jesse Lingard having scored in almost a whole season. So we can't get ahead of ourselves where we say the coach not the right for judge him. First time I think the coach was using him the right way, right? So I think one time Justin gonna play about 30 games and he never scored. You know, so we have to
that was right after Mourinho was fired. The season before, the season when Mourinho was fired, Justin Lingard scored 10 goals. But
after that, what happened after that to the following season is that he went about 25, 30. And as a professional footballer at a big club, if you have played upon our team and you got 20 games or so without scored, you cannot complain when you get benched. Now, when it comes to the tactics at home, which I understand what the coach never played an best role, for example, that I can agree with. But at the same time, I understand why you don't get benched if you're not scoring such a long period of time at the same time, you know?
All right, with that, we should move on. The JR, in time to talk about him like a full team, you know.
She not talk about Jared Bowen and Sufal. I don't understand.
It's fine. No. We have to move on. Because we have to talk about Spurs too. Remember
we have to save the best for last. Man U first.
Me be the first to go and talk about this. And a lot of people don't understand where me for. You know, it's kind of hard to be a truthful Manchester United fan because of the, you know, we are United fans. And when we sit down here, so even though we win 2-1, I can honestly say I was more impressed by Brighton than I was impressed with my own team. You know, and that is the absolute truth. You know, when you talk about a team like us with the quality that we do have, and, you know, we are talking about a midfielder, Fred, Pogba, Bruno, you have Rashford, all of them, all these players on your side, and the quality again we play with the quality of chance that we're creating. Something is wrong with the style of football that we're talking about. Because, you know, whenever we watch these quality of players and you play against a Brighton, which is, I think Brighton is like fourth from, you know, 2 places above the drop zone or something like that. You know, we cannot create, this is not the first time, because I don't know if you remember, Brighton was the game earlier this season where the penalty they gave after everybody walk off of the field and then forward back. So, you know, 2 games now we watch you play against Brighton and the coach have actually outclassed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think that's a big problem that we have because, and me want to say this when we talk about Arsenal with Arteta as well. I think the problem we have with a lot of coaches like Ole and Arteta is that they lack experience, and I think they know that their job is always always there to be tried to take up. Because they got a lot of scrutiny because they don't have them a lot of reserve in the bank like a Pep or a Klopp or something. If you can just go out there and play what Brandon Callum want. So I think a lot of time we play more defensive because the coach is thinking more short term about his job. And the same thing with Arteta as well, than trying to play a brand of football that's pretty. Because I think you play more defensive because if you play defensive, at least you know you get a point instead of going out there and possibly losing. You know, so it's a lot of things we can say about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Personally, though, one thing we can say is the best of a bad bunch of legends coaches. That's all I have to say. You know, so, but at the end of the day, he does deserve a new contract at the club because at the end of the day, he did bring this team to a second place when personally in the beginning of the season, me think we're not finished 5th or 6th and with the second place right now. So we can blame it and say it's possible because of a bad season or whatever it is, but you can only go by the result and he'll get a new contract even though I'm not agreed with, you know?
All right, but why prolong? If you're not thinking my right individual for his job, then why give him an next contract? Why the charade?
But Shane, we have tried all the big managers. We have tried the Louis van Gaals. We have tried all the.
So what does that mean? You what manager and they fail. What you do? Just shut up shop and stop being a club?
No. But what I try to say is that Ole forwarding, right? Let's talk about the. Me not agree with the brand of football that we play, but let's talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tenure real quick in a quick summary. One forwarding, we was like 6 or 7 of the league. All right, I think we end up finished like Champions League spot. Last season, we end up finished 3rd. You know, as a Manchester United fan, a lot of people just laugh at me and say, "Oh, they're going to hold on to 6th place because 6th place don't belong that." You know, then before this season, we're in 3rd place, and last season, right? This season, we're actually in 2nd place. How can you fire a coach that's actually making progress? No, we haven't won a trophy, which is something which a big club like Manchester United is kind of fully dependent on, right? But how can you fire a coach with everything? Since we have left, this is the best brand of football we have played, honestly. And now we're looking at every year you have been making progress. Last season, we didn't win the Europa League, or we didn't win any type of cups or nothing, but we reached the semi-final of the Europa League. We finished 3rd. The best season we have in a long time. This season, We're second in the Premier League, which is a lot of us would even predict Manchester United finishing second based on the summer where Chelsea have or other teams have over the summer. There are a lot of people that agree say City or Liverpool plus Chelsea, etc., etc. United or Tottenham or whoever backlog for fourth, right? So that's pretty much it, man. You know, you can't fire a coach and don't give him a new contract when you think about the idea that we have actually made progress.
You have a contract, you can continue working. That's what I would do. Go ahead.
Go on, Jiggy. Go on.
With this Brighton game, and I'm very happy I watched it because, you know, as we discussed, and I'll say something, Shane always talk about their levels, right? And this is what I'm talking about. When you look at what Graham Pottinger did, the way he tactically set up Brighton, he frustrated Manu all day. As a matter of fact, I think it was in the 60-something minute when the Brighton player actually made a mistake in his own half. Instead of clearing the ball out, I think he tried to put it over Pogba head or something. Lost the ball. The ball was immediately passed to Rashford on the left, and he just kicked it in the goal. Right? So Brighton was the only cause of their downfall. And when you're playing a team that has more talent than you, higher level players than you, the two things you have to do to win that game. You have to be more disciplined, and you can't make a mistake. I mean, you have to work harder. You have to be more disciplined, you have to work harder. They made a mistake and open up the game. Even the second goal, if someone had just kicked out the ball for a corner, they could set up. But then they were allowed to square it back into the box. And I think it was Mason who kicked it in the goal, right, on top of the 6-yard box, right? So those two things, those two mistakes cost Brighton. What I thought Pottinger, the way he set up his team, was the same thing he did earlier to frustrate Man U in the first game when they lost, 3-2 in the end? And he did it again. But Man U has way more talent than Brighton. But the Brighton coach, to me, is a better coach than Ole in the way he tries to put his club together to defeat what Ole or what the Man U is bringing towards it. But the players made a mistake twice and gave away the game. Nothing you can do about it. Still a good game. I'm glad I watched it, and that's how it is.
That's it. All right. And
Greg, Greg, sports wizard say,
I mean, seriously.
Greg, do it fast.
Mistakes are all up man like this.
All right, do
Seriously,
it.
bro. All right. I said it here when we were doing the predictions that yes, Brighton plays some beautiful stuff, and as a small team, they like possession of the ball. But I also mentioned that at the end of the day, talent goes stand out, and that's what happened. Now, when small teams play like this, you go have at least once or twice in the game where they're gonna make a mistake, you know, and that's what team with quality players do: punish you when you make these mistakes. I mean, probably if they were playing against Arsenal or somebody who isn't as sharp or lethal or, you know, playing deadly kind of stuff, then yeah, they might get away with a mistake like that. But playing against a front three of Liverpool or playing against Man United attackers who we all know they're very good attackers. You know, we can agree that yes, the coach probably hasn't figured out his best tactics or starting team yet, but yeah, they have very good players. So small teams make mistakes like those, they're gonna get punished. But JR, you mentioned that what's his name? One coach name? Ole do and what Arteta do are kind of similar. No, Arteta just overthink himself sometimes. You know, he think his Pep's look a brother or look a cousin, and him try if he just invent something sometimes. Because even the Liverpool game, starting Callum Chambers at right back, I mean, I don't see how that did make sense. You go have him go up against Speedy Mane, you know? I mean, not that it took a great toll on the game, but if you had a Cedric over there, then you would have been asking Robertson to do a little bit of defending too, you know? Because Cedric is going to attack and he's a better passer of the ball. So, with that comparison, no. Arteta, I mean, I've seen him done things. If you go talk about trophies, FA Cup might not be the biggest thing, but he has won it. And, you know, I guess that kind of did blind some of us Arsenal fans too, that he ain't come in and he win a trophy. And funny enough, I expect him to win the Europa League this season. Man, you think they have a chance because they're still in it, but that not gonna happen this year, brother. I mean, if you want to jersey out 22, you can go ahead and do that. But yeah, He might win something else, but for me, he's not the coach going forward for Arsenal. I don't see it right now, but I would not call for him to be out right now. I give him at least till the end of the season. Let's see what he can do.
Don't hedge your bet. Don't hedge your bet, Greg. Just call for his head. Don't hedge your bet. Call for his head.
Why?
You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Why?
Yo, Arteta out.
Hey, Butch, make sure you clip the part there from there. Clip it.
Anyways, since we are talking about coach, now we're gonna pick up with Shane's favorite coach, Tottenham 2 and Newcastle 2.
Let's do
Shane's
it.
favorite coach.
I mute myself.
All right, no. But it's funny because, all right, this is the honest truth. If I was a Tottenham fan, I'd be very frustrated, right? So you see team sheet forward out, and you're saying surely Bale go dip on the team sheet, right? And Bale not in that squad, and he start off with Lucas Moura, and he even start off with Carlos Vinicius. So the team sheet was suspect. I mean, Newcastle and Joelinton. I swear to God, if they had anybody who could have scored, who was a really like if Callum Wilson when they played that game, the Spurs lose that game 100%. You understand? Because Newcastle had some really good chances. Any idea? If I was a Spurs fan, I'd be very much frustrated because this team do have talent. Again, Tanga and Dembele was good. Even Jose Mourinho praised him after a game. He was good, but it's just agendas. It's when the Jose Mourinho team start go wrong. It's always agendas. It's always him calling out different players. And again, it's dear for me have quality. If you put the right players on the pitch, this team can achieve something. But it just seems like he shoot himself in the foot most of the times.
Honestly, Jose Mourinho's style of football is a grandfather type of football in the modern day football. And I think as much as men are like Ole, say it all the time, like how Sir Alex usually manage sometimes, maybe we can't do it in modern day football. And I think sometimes Ozzy have to learn to kind of adapt to the new type, the new personalities of what football is nowadays, as much as me don't like it because me hate it, to tell you the truth. But, the style of football, nobody know I'm being a top attacker and playing a sideways 6, 7, 8 people back at the ball. And then try to run up the field and get a counter attack. It's a different type of football. And as you say, as a United fan that had Jose Mourinho as our coach, listen, man, nothing is worse than a Jose Mourinho side when it's finally going downhill. Everything starts falling downhill because it's a person where everything that start go bad, there's a lot of finger pointing. There's not a person take any type of blame. It's nothing like that. He always try point fingers, and in your point fingers in a dressing room, it's a downward spiral from there. The players not motivated. Players call for him. Players call for him. I say some foolishness a while ago. Players call for him, but me have to stop that. You understand me? I say because they now clip me on this, But players call for him get fired. Players call for him get fired at United, and that was it. And I think it'll end up with the same thing for him at Spurs. And I think if him get fired at Spurs, that is his last major job at a big club for right now, and no in the near future.
All right, Greg, go on before you drop asleep. Can you pay attention?
Yo, unmute the mic, no man. Unmute the mic.
You know, some hold up there now again. I mean,
Just unmute the mic and start talking, man.
Anyways, quickly, I was reading the comments, Butcher. That's what I was doing. I wasn't falling asleep. I was reading the comments, and I was gonna ask Shane a question. Black say Arsenal should hire Brighton coach. He would do a better job than Arteta. What do you think about that, Shane? JR didn't ask you nothing.
It's funny because remember saying far upon the scene in the Europa League, when I think one team named Ostersons, he went to manage back in the day.
Norwegian or Sweden.
Yeah. And then I think that was the team, and then he win. And people was like, "Wow, look at the English manager. He look smart. He look like him about it. He look like him tactically aware of what's going on." It's not a bad shot. It's not a bad shot at all.
Okay. But I have about the Tottenham game.
Jiggy.
Yeah, my time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yo, Newcastle dominated Spurs, right? People are going to say, oh, well, Spurs had more possession. You mean possession bouncing the ball in their own half? It's ridiculous. Newcastle dominated Spurs. And as Shane pointed out, if it wasn't Joel Linton, the second worst Brazilian striker ever to play in the Premier League, Spurs would get back up. We have to be honest. I mean, Joel Linton scored a little one goal, but Joel Linton is horrible, bro. I don't even know how he plays in the Premier League. And he should go play in Limehall Corner League with us, you know.
Did anybody check Joe Linton passport and make sure Brazilian?
I mean, the guy is not. I mean, the guy is not tactically aware. Like, he has no technique. Like, when do you find a Brazilian that has no technique? You just don't see stuff like that. It makes no sense.
35 million MPF, mate. Yeah, worry about it. Will be. I think a 35 million MPF for that man. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, bro.
That's the first thing you learn in Brazil. Where do you find Brazilians without technique? Like any form of technique. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, him and Fred is unbelievable.
Fred. Never in my life I see a Brazilian can't kick the football. Never.
I just don't know, man. But at the same time, if you're a Spurs fan, you have to be hugely disappointed, bro. There's no way a Newcastle team is supposed to dominate you. Like almost doubling shots on your goal. They were just going after them because they were sitting back, bouncing the ball in their half. Like, what is this? Training? It's ridiculous.
But you know what? Joel Linton was at Hoffenheim when we sent Reece Nelson there on loan. And he scored a few goals because
Nagelsmann in the goals, bro.
Nagelsmann was the coach then. Julian Nagelsmann was Hoffenheim coach and he was scoring a few goals. So that's what convinced you.
But you know, may I go say something right now? Let me know what I think real quick. You know, outside of Manchester City, I really think Tottenham have the second best squad in the Premier League. That's me personally. With the quality of players I'm having in midfield and everything, bro, them man should be easily like top 4 right now, you know, because when I think about the man in midfield with Lo Celso and all them in the brother. Man, have a lot of players now.
I'll just say one more thing. That is the thing, right? So when he fouled out, and I think the quote was same manager but different set of players. I thought that was astounding. Like how you go try to throw your players under a bus like that when they ask him about the performances. And again, it's incumbent on him to try to coach up and get the defense together. You understand what I mean? If you think David Sanchez not as good as him is and he make too much mistake, then you have to go ahead and replace them, knit them together. But it's never gonna happen.
I would like to know what's his issue with Alderweireld, because that's his best centre back. You know, Alderweireld is his best centre back. But to add to what JR said about them having a deep squad, I remember when he got the job and then the players that he brought in, I was thinking Chelsea all over again. Because if you look at the pieces that Chelsea squad had, there were a lot of identical pieces in that squad. You know, he had his talisman in Kane, Drogba. You had a son who could be your Lampard or your Hazard, whichever one of them you want to compare him to, you know. Sissoko could be compared to whether it be Mikel or Essien. You know, he had identical squad. So I was nervous when he got the job and then got money to spend. Money which what's his name at PSG now wasn't getting to spend when he was there, you know. So
the third best coach in the world over there, you know. Yeah.
I was expecting the worst when he got the job and the money to spend. But thankfully, it's like Shane predicted from about August. It's imploded and it's looking good for the rest of us.
The 2015 Chelsea squad. When you look at the talent in the midfield, they're talking about Cesc Fabregas, talking about a young Willian. Oscar when he was playing before he took all the money and left. He went to China, right? I mean, if you look at that squad is a phenomenal squad. They had a seasoned John Terry in the defense, which you can't compare with all the way like any Sanchez, who is mistake prone. I mean, so yeah.
And Lampard.
But Lampard was a little bit 55 years ago. Lampard was still, but he was still good, but he was a little bit.
Still was good though.
Right?
But Son gives you what Lampard gives you. Son is giving you the goals that Lampard was giving you.
Well, I mean, if you combine Lampard assists and goals, it's not the same thing, sir.
Lampard wasn't giving you as much assists. It was mainly the goals. And Son is giving you both.
Son is a world-class player, man. It's a world-class player performing.
Yeah, man, you have to make that comparison.
All right.
You have to make that comparison.
Yeah, but
Closing off here.
compared to the players today, yes, Spurs is pretty talented. Yes, they should be doing better. But that 2015 Chelsea team had talent, bro. Let's not sleep on them like that. Ha ha ha.
Nobody would do that.
Right.
We are close off the Premier League section. I know. Greg, had Pep drop a comment. Why you take a comment there?
Oh, man's not hot.
I have to disagree. If this coach, if you're basing it saying he was a part of Wenger's system, he's not playing Wenger ball. So right away they say you get it wrong, Meji. This man now play Wenger kind of football. I looked at a squad today that Wenger coach. Let me see if I find the squad real quick. The only players in that squad that would make this current squad were Ramsey, Rosiski, and Vermaelen. Let's see if I find the squad real quick. They had Shamak striking, Axon on side, Jervine on one side, Toplin as a part of the midfield. One look you would name Mead, who was in the he was in the academy at the time. He was the left back. Jenkins was the right back. Skilacci was one of the centre backs. And that team finished in the top 4 that season. So don't tell me say him a follow in the trend that the Arsenal system. No, he's trying something different and it's not working out. So yeah, that answer your question.
We'll have a game time until the end of the season. Let's see where they end up.
All right. That's it for the Premier League. We'll do a review Thursday. That's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
All right, Champions League tomorrow.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah, let's go.
Right now. It's only 4 games, so it shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah.
All right. We are saved Jiggy. All right, Jiggy the best first.
All right, which game?
Let's get into it.
Which game I do first, Bujo? We could talk things.
Your game. Madrid.
Liverpool. Okay.
Yes.
So
no.
What I don't want to be too emotional about Liverpool, so I'm gonna try to remain consistent. We're not gonna lock off my mic and lock off my camera like Greg and go about my business. So on Saturday we played Arsenal, right? And as I said that I can't judge the team from how they played against Arsenal because Arsenal just didn't show up. But what I did expect actually was for our coach when we're gonna play Real Madrid, and let's be honest, Toni Kroos, Modric, Casemiro, Fabinho,
Keita,
and Wijnaldum. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. You know, I mean, I can't even criticize Klopp for that, but that's all we have. So my criticism of him would be this: if we're gonna go up against that type of talent and cerebral players, why would you play Naby Keita, who hasn't played in like 6 weeks and who hasn't played well the entire season, when we saw what Thiago has played against these players over and over that side of Europe, over and over? Why would you? I don't understand it. And then I'm hearing by the report that he only changed it like 2 minutes before the game started, right? So why would you start a player like Naby Keita, who hasn't played well for Liverpool this season at all, to put up against those type of players? So that is my problem with what Klopp did to set up, because once he made the change, Liverpool finally got in the game because he could put Thiago forward and put us in a more winning position. And then even further, when he switched to the 4 forwards, no, he took off Jota and put on Firmino. We're still applying pressure. Now, I am confident that we can actually make a game of it for the next game, but we can't have the same type of decision making. And then Shaqiri was ineffective. I've been saying this for a while. When you have these type of teams with speedy wingers, Shaqiri cannot play. He doesn't do anything for Liverpool. It's unfortunate. We don't have somebody else to replace him, and Klopp has to recognize that Shaqiri does nothing for us. If we're playing against people like Vinicius and Asensio and all this, he couldn't do anything. And with these cerebral midfielders, I mean, it was the way Klopp set up our team was ridiculous initially, He made a change. The team played better. Unfortunately, they got a last-minute goal, which put it to 3-1. But coming back to Anfield, we got this. We got this. You see, Klopp sees the error of what he did, and he corrected it in the first half. It takes a big coach. It takes someone with some form of moxie to actually say, hey, get off the field in the first half. I made a mistake. And he did it. So what can I say? But I laid the defeat at his feet. I laid the defeat at his feet, no pun intended, but I mean, that's how it is.
Shane, let me hear Shane, because like Shane look like he's ready for knock out Jiggy for now and here,
No. I mean, we already had the discussion. You understand? And me go from the Real Madrid angle, really. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to talk about Liverpool. We are familiar with Liverpool. It's good to see Real Madrid actually getting themselves together. You know what I mean? I do think the game is still in the balance, really. It'll be interesting. What's going to be interesting is to see how Real Madrid approach the game, because the way they close off the game was really concerning and really got ultra defensive. And forward into Anfield, even without the fans, it's going to be difficult to be defensive. They still have to play and try to dominate, get on the ball, and string passes together like they can do. So it'll be interesting to see how they approach the second leg. Apart from that, you have to give people like Asensio and Vinicius all heap of credit, because then they forward into their own. Asensio, like a player who, because of injuries, etc., in ascension to greatness is kind of curtailed. But now you can see it forward, because he scored over a weekend, but you can sustain the forward into own again. Again, we have to give Zidane credit for using these players, getting the best, even still get the best out of Benzema. Lovely stuff. And remember that Real Madrid had a whole heap of injuries to this game. You understand what I mean? No Ramos, no Varane, you know what I mean? No Carvajal, which is one of the best right backs still in Europe. So they had a whole heap of injuries. Again, next man up, and let's see how the second leg go.
All right. Hold on it, Greg. Jiggy, quick question.
Yeah.
If you were Klopp, would you start Milner or you stick with Trent?
No, man, you don't take out Trent. You stick with Trent.
Yeah, take out Trent.
And thank you for the question. Would you thank you for the question? And I'll tell you this: we made a mistake, and Zidane punished us. I mean, when you think about Zidane knockout record, it's phenomenal. No matter how much criticism he gets, when he goes into he's a serious coach when it's in knockouts competition, and we have to admit it. He punished us. If you look at it, Salah plays over there on the right. Klopp started Ketty on the right, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. If you look at that, that's our weakest defenders throughout the entire team. It's like how Mane would run back on the left to help Robertson, all the way back tackling the 18-yard box. Sometimes I wonder if he's going to get red card. Salah doesn't do that on the right side. So how is it then that you put Salah on the right, Ketia coming back from injury on the right, Trent on the right, and what did Zidane do? Mendy, what his name is? The Brazilian. They were just right up there all day. They were up there. He just said, go up there all day. Right? And he really destroyed us. There was nothing we could do about it.
Greg, go ahead, Greg.
All right. So to add to what Bujo asked about Milner, to add to what Jiggy commented, you could have said start Milner instead of Naby Keita, because the fact that you want Trent to be able to attack as much, going with two defensive midfielders in Fabinho and Milner, and I said it earlier, Fabinho added to Milner looking so good, are both of them, took control of the game and allowed their fullbacks to attack with ease, not having to think so much about, okay, who's covering from here on there. So he could have started with Milner in the midfield. Anyways, to Real, Zidane seems to be getting it together, and normally when his team goes on a run in whether Europe or the league, it could be trouble. If you had asked me 3 months ago, they can't win nothing. Sunday they play Barca in Clásico. They're a point behind Barca and 3 points behind Atletico. Atletico dropped points over the weekend against Sevilla. You know? So this Clasico at home, they beat Barca. They beat Barca in the season at the Bernabeu. They're gonna be at Camp Nou. They're gonna be at the Bernabeu on Sunday with everything on the line. You know, Real could do the double. Surprisingly,
the first game they absolutely dominated Barcelona. I was surprised by it.
And they weren't playing nothing.
Exactly,
they were playing garbage. And right
Barca never did play nothing either.
Right now, he have a set starting squad. You know, he has a set squad. With Varane and Ramos, who are the most senior defenders out, he still have some solid midfielders. Casemiro is top 2 defensive midfielder on any given day, probably even number 1. You know, and attackers who, along with the young wingers, along with Benzema, because Benzema, boy, he seems to get better with age. You don't see what he does sometimes, but when you look at the stat sheet, you see 2 assists and a goal, or 2 goals and an assist. You know, but you don't see what he's doing out there. But Zidane always have faith in him, always trust him. And I guess that's the reason why, because he does what Zidane asks him to do out there, you know? So
it actually seems like Zidane know when they do, and he knows something about football.
Wow. Sarcasm.
Zidane is the best of the legends.
But yeah, I thought Liverpool was going to offer some more. But I guess I was thinking about the Arsenal game and not remembering that it is Real, and a bad Real is on most days still better than a good Arsenal, you know? So with Liverpool not being at their 100, they weren't able to, because like we said, Real was without Ramos and Varane. You know, mainstays in their defense for how many years? Carvajal, as Shane pointed out, probably still top 3 right back or top 2. You know, and they were without them, but still got the job done. So, Jiggy, I know you think that Anfield is gonna be your fortress. Not gonna happen. I might get back up on Anfield.
Yes, speaking of which, Jiggy, at Pep say forwarding from a Barca fan standpoint, him don't see Liverpool a forward back in. And he's a Barca fan.
No, listen, we have seen I don't know if you remember the Atletico Madrid tie last year when we were down, and we did play well, and there was a few mistakes that happened because of the young defense, obviously, and the keeper was Adrian, who made that error, right? So Klopp does have a history of making adjustments, and I feel as if based on what Zidane do, as long as we can shore up that right side, yes, Darian Trent did play horrible, but you're not going to bench him or anything, right? Because he's still your best option on the right side going forward, who supplies all that good passes to our players, you know, especially, I don't know if you saw that Jota header that he barely missed the post, and that was all Trent, you know, from nearly half line. So we really kind of say, oh, let's drop Trent, and then what? You know, where does the creativity come from? It's not Wijnaldum, it's not Fabinho, it comes from our players out on the wide, you know. So I mean, Klopp does have to recognize, say, hey, listen, I made an error, I'm gonna cover Trent, and personally, I'm dying for a coach to say, hey, let me put Trent in the midfield and get our new right back somewhere, whether it's in the English team or whether it's in Liverpool team, to say, let me get a new right back and put Trent in the midfield or something. Because obviously, dude don't want to defend, because that takes effort, bro. You know, it's obvious.
He was a midfielder in your youth setup, you know. He came through as a midfielder, but he's a modern day fullback, so ain't nobody gonna put him back in midfield. Jiggy, a female agree with you, man. She said, stick with Trent straight.
One more thing. Where better name? Man's not Pep. Well, you can't say that. You can't say that Liverpool now far back. And him saying he's a Barcelona fan. And if he is, he would remember what Liverpool did to Barcelona when they went far back to Anfield. You understand? And again, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just saying, we know say Liverpool, they do this. This is what they do. And they can score in bunches easily. You only depend on the approach of Liverpool and the approach of Real Madrid the next game. Can't wait for the Clasico, but we'll talk about that, I guess, in our preview.
Yes,
Shane, you see, if Liverpool didn't play anything at all, then I would have less confidence. But once they made the change, the game became even. We created opportunity after opportunity. Mane allowed Mendy to come across and kick with the ball from his foot right on top of the six. There were several opportunities that we created once Klopp made a change. But if it was just a game where they just dominate us, Klopp didn't make any adjustment, I would say, wow, we have no chance. But I see where we have opportunity to make it a good game, good run for the money at the end.
That game, that's how you're done for it. The start on the bank and go and focus on.
Yeah, Jiggy. One thing with Zidane is he can set up his team to be very solid defensively.
Exactly. It's not very hard for the leader.
You have to give Zidane credit for that.
Up against Atletico Madrid again.
No, not that bad, but trust me, he can defend.
Next game, Madrid.
To
City Dortmund.
yeah, my youth, I'm here also sure now, you know.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but close. This one is a very close tie. City got
Highway robbery.
But yeah, I think this is one is a toss up. Can't call it.
Highway robbery.
Yeah, that I'm gonna talk about you know. Over. All right, JR, you have the floor. Go on.
Me will go first. And this is where me not understand the purpose of VAR. I me not understand the purpose of all these things because everybody sit back and watch the exact play where Edison gave the ball and the man hit the ball on the goal and time Jude Bellingham hit the ball on the goal, and that was the first thing I said, boy, this game gonna be a tough game because when they play against a team like Manchester City, which as I said to me, top 3 team in the world at the moment with obviously PSG and Bayern Munich, right? So when you talk about that and you get a chance like that and a referee take a goal like that away from you, especially from a young team with all the youngsters with Dortmund have. Oh my God, man. That's one of the biggest highway robbery I've ever seen in a modern day football with VAR ever. Right? But I could have more focused on the actual game itself.
Well, is that a bigger robbery than when the game done and then call back the players on the field for kick off a penalty?
No, man, no. No, well, I know, man.
Yeah, they call back on the field for Bruno kick a penalty. Absolutely.
Yeah, but what I know, but what we are trying to say is that at least we can look back on that and say at least the thing happened within the time before the thing call off, right before it call off, right? But this, I don't see nothing wrong. I don't see where the foul was. I don't see nothing. And it wasn't. And the problem is that the man blew the whistle before even let VAR. You know, normally them tell if hold the whistle and let VAR determine at the end. But the man blew the whistle before the ball going on the goal. As I said, but make a focus on the game itself though, and just the phenomenon what Erling Haaland is as a player. You know, I know him never scored, but listen, man, we just watch the movement, the tenacity, how the man throw it, Ruben Diaz like a little piece of folded paper. You know, when I think about that, I mean, a lot of people say it might not make it in the Premier League. But listen, man, I'll be first telling right now. If Erling Haaland comes to the Premier League, it might be a revolution. You know, but overall, very good game. The tie is not done yet. I think Dortmund is not having the best of season, but with my Sancho and the talent them have and Haaland and them, the tie is not over yet. I think them have a very good chance.
Definitely.
Jiggy. Jiggy look like he's ready for that one. I'm going to take notes.
Yo, no. The only thing I was going to say is that JR just have to agree with you, sir. The robbery of Jude Bellingham is unfortunate for a young team. It's very hard to come back from, you know, when you know in your heart that, yo, we are go up against Manchester City and we know how them play. And you go there and could have get a 2-2 and then said, no, that's deflating, you know. So it's interesting to see if they're just going to do all-out attack for the next game, right? To see how they can, because we know City is going to score. So which means that
you have to score 3.
Dortmund is going to have to score 3, right? So they can come out playing moderate next week, Wednesday. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting game. Something I'm willing to miss work to see again. Or maybe I'll be traveling, but we'll see.
It's time for Haaland to build him legacy now. This is the time where Haaland have to start building legacy.
Absolutely. In the Champions League too, you know.
Because he missed a one-on-one, you know. Remember I said missed a one-on-one in time to get through. The same one and sure Ruben Diaz, he missed the one-on-one right there. So
you need to get a hat-trick like Ronaldo. I think it was 3 years ago in the Champions League. You need to get a hat-trick and solidify his name as the best number 9, you know.
Greg.
All right, so okay, Black say supposedly the whistle was blown, so VAR cannot intervene. Jerry, I heard you say that they are told not to blow the whistle. That's for offsides. It's for offsides. They're told not to blow the whistle to let the play continue and then let VAR check it. It's not for
everything, Greg. After everything.
No, Greg.
That happened.
No, it's not. It's
that
not
happened
for
in the Champions League, sir. That happened today in the Champions League.
Can I talk? I have the floor. It's not for fouls. It's the referee decision out there. If he sees something that looks like a foul, he's gonna blow the whistle. The referee does not wait on VAR to tell him that was a foul. Okay, if he missed something now and he has to revert to VAR, then that's different. It's offsides. If JR, it is offsides that they tell you let the play continue, and then after the goal or whatever happens, then we will have VAR review it. They don't tell you to let the play continue if you think it's a foul. The referee still has the final say. VAR is only there to assist the referee. Video assisted referee as a matter of fact name. Okay? No,
but Greg, what
I am very disappointed. Go on.
No, but 1 second, Greg. But what may I say is that if you want to go by the books like that, all right, cool. But what may I say, in a position like that, where there was nothing, I don't look back on that play and there was literally nothing even clear, obvious, or nothing like that. But in a situation like that, where lead have the high possibility of leading to a goal scoring opportunity, common sense is a very big thing that is rolling. Common sense, I'm making like, you know what? Since we can use VAR to take it back, don't blow the whistles. You know, obviously we can go by the book with a lot of things in this world here. But common sense, we're supposed to tell us that situation is best not to blow the whistle at all, right? Yeah, but it's highway robber, man.
You know what? To be honest with you, I mean, in this case, I mean, there was no foul there. But to see sometimes, you see where they tell them let the play continue sometimes and then have VAR go back and check it. A lot of times we have seen where this has caused disaster. You know, we have seen where Maguire kicked down somebody. And because VAR go back and check it, I mean, the linesman could have flagged and let the play just stop right there. But he let it run, and then Maguire go and bust somebody lace. And then when VAR check it and say man went offside, everything just stopped there. So then nobody go back to the point that Maguire went bust somebody lace up there. So in that case, yes, common sense can use and actually stop the game too. Anyway, to get back to the game itself, I am very disappointed because Jude is a player I rate. You know, and them taking away this goal from him. You talk about it being a young team and it messing with their confidence. I mean, and Shane talk about it all the while where Dartman, it don't take much to knock the wind out of them, you know? I mean, they're very weak mentally, and something like this could mess them up. And as I said, Bellingham is a player that I rate. Shane, I don't know if you watch a game. Did you see the comparison that I made? Okay. Well, he still had a decent game, even though that happened. And if I'm a City fan right now, I'm scared. Because even though City played good, I can't sit here and tell you that City played them off the park. You know, they played good stuff too, and they could have gotten something from the game. So if I'm a City fan right now, if they don't get it together, 2 weeks time or 3 weeks time, going back down to Germany?
Isn't it next week time?
It's next week? It's a week now between games?
I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so, because they wouldn't have put the Classico on a Sunday if Champions League games were playing, if the returns were playing in the week. I doubt it. But yeah, if I'm a City fan right now, after watching that game and seeing Dartman were without some of their regulars.
Yeah,
if you ask me, somebody like Gio Reyna.
The follow-up leg next week on the 14th.
Oh, for real?
Next week Wednesday.
I remember I commented. I remember saying something like, "Oh, can he get himself together next week to play?" Referring to when I players them today.
Well, yeah, like I said, Dartman go have Gio Reyna. Couple other players, regular starters, were missing from this game for them. So if City not get it together, they could be knocked out at probably the earliest stage since Pep's been there.
That will never happen.
Honestly, as much can happen.
It can, but honestly, listen, may I say it right now, before we even go on to next game. This season just feel like it's a season for either PSG or Manchester City. I feel as if one of the two teams who never really win it before is going to win it this year. That is just how me personally feel. So, I just feel like one of them season there, with especially with COVID, no fans. I feel like it's just a time for one of them two teams will win, So we'll see though. Unless Pep will do some foolishness as he normally do in these big games. So we never know.
Okay, well, sorry, Reina played, but he came on late in the game. But Sancho didn't play. So just think about that. You're going to have a Sancho and a Gio Reina ready for that game.
Okay.
All right. Today's game, sorry, madam.
What's your mother?
Take off you can moderator mute. I don't know what's saying.
Yo,
Come on, man.
I might know.
Anyways, as Mother say, Chelsea, not gonna say comfortable, but 2-0 win over Porto. I think no. I'll leave that to Una. Shane, you have the floor.
I didn't watch the game. I'll just say, like, generally vague things. Like, it was a good result. I seen the Mason Mount goal. A lovely goal. Lovely player, isn't he? Right?
Lovely turn.
Yeah, lovely player. And again, we can see why coaches always love this player. You always hear about players following through the system, and him always one what they always taught and say him go be one of those who go lead Chelsea, following through. And you can see it. The individual who take on that mantle, one to lead. So again, for Chelsea, it's a good result. You keep a clean sheet, onwards and upwards for them.
All right, cool. Jiggy.
Yo, I never get the opportunity to watch a game, bro. What can I say about
All right, who watch it? Jay, you watch it?
Yeah, I'm watch a little bit of it. Honestly, two very, very good goal, very good result for Chelsea. Mason Mount, to tell you the truth, that has been honestly, me one of the people that never really rate Mason Mount as much when him just start on the scene. I'm never really the biggest Mason Mount fan, still not is. But over the last couple of weeks, I've been watching Chelsea more since Tuchel has fought in, and I can't tell you, in time Lampard leave, me feel as a Mason Mount that was gonna be the end of Mason Mount. Now I see him as much, but he has been a revelation under Tuchel as well. So but Chelsea definitely gonna win this game with a defensive record under Tuchel so far. Obviously with the West Brom, blip the other day. Them definitely. I don't support far out, to win this game. For win this tie. I think it's definitely gonna be Chelsea moving forward to the next round. But the big game, I think everybody was excited for the big game.
Greg, I know want Greg tell me I skip him. Greg.
I don't watch the game, but Mount, I actually saw him at Derby, and a lot of people, especially Chelsea fans, were putting the blame on him when they weren't getting results, saying that, Lampard continue to play him because he coach him at Derby and he's not good. But he's one of those players that go out there and do what the coach tell him to do. He kind of reminds me somewhat of Aaron Ramsey. He's going to pop up with goals. And your fans don't really appreciate him until it's too late. Or a lot of your fans don't appreciate him until it's too late. That's who Mount remind me of, Aaron Ramsey. He pops up with the goals. He does simple things, Sometimes it doesn't go his way. I mean, not just simple. I take that back. Sometimes he tries to elaborate, and things doesn't go his way sometimes, and fans are gonna get at him. But he's strong mentally. He's not gonna give up. He's gonna continue doing what he does. And one thing you see with Mason Mount, you don't see him shy away from the game. If he pick it up and he kick it and the keeper save it or he go high and wide, the next chance he get, you guarantee he go try curl it into the top corner again, which is why he scores some brilliant goals. So yeah, I don't expect Porto to come back from this one. Not playing away to Chelsea, not the way that Tuchel have this team playing right now, unfortunately.
Like y'all did see this 5-2 coming. Y'all didn't see that coming. But anyways,
Sarge check-in. Sarge finally at Chelsea.
And Soji did not the comment section.
I saw Soji earlier.
Yeah, I saw him earlier.
Yeah, Soji was just being sarcastic as usual.
All right, let's get to the big game, the big bad game. You know?
Jeez.
A cracker.
Yeah, man. Classic, man. She look like him ready for it, but me not make him go first. JR.
Me?
Yeah.
Listen, may I tell you the truth. Today was one of the most busiest days I ever have in a long time. And the thing is, me never want to watch the game itself. You know, but me never want to watch the game. I'm just go and preps it.
Yo,
but
sit
brother,
out that one here.
Well, I know, man.
Deal with chain.
Well, I know. Maybe just get a quick comment in Jiggy. I mean, I take out too much. But hear me, I say, when we talk about Erling Haaland and Mbappe, I mean, I compare two of them right now. We have two phenomenons in them, man. Yo, two different type of players again. But personally, today game, one of the best Champions League games I've seen in a very long while. When I talk about going back and forth, the quality of players and the quality of gameplay, right? But ultimately, I'm not gonna say too much because I leave it up to JK and Shane. Because obviously, seem like them have a little thing when they want to talk about.
Yes, sir.
But what me I gonna say is this: PSG, hope them go through and win. But I still think Bayern Munich is actually going to beat them and go through to the next round. That's how my honestly feel. Because if you watch the game today, you realize Bayern Munich actually play better to me than how PSG play. They play by far better. I don't think I'm going to miss the exact same chance again in the second round. So, but with that being said, may I leave the floor to Jiggy?
Hold on. Greg go first.
Yeah, make your lower quality stuff get over here first. First off, I must say that 2015, when Shane forward on the WhatsApp group, and I give all this credit to Mbappe, ever since then, I've been a hater and don't want him to play as good. But each time I've hated on him, he has have an excellent game and slap me in the face, you know. Secondly, when they had to make the sub today for Marquinhos, who went to centre back? Danilo Pereira? Pereira went to centre back. You see where from Arsenal I talk about this brother from Sporting named Carvalho, the left-footed one? Yeah. I was saying that Danilo Pereira is the defensive midfielder we should buy from them time there. Because this is the things that he did at Porto. You know, a lot of people don't watch him that much unless it's the Champions League because they weren't paying attention to Porto. But he's and I mean, the injury that kept him out of that Liverpool tie 2 years ago kind of slowed him down a bit. It was a gruesome injury, but prior to that, he was quick. He was a very good box-to-box midfielder, and he can play as a centre-back as well. Now, as far as the game, I am a bit scared for Bayern. I mean, we know Gnabry will be back because it's COVID. It's COVID, right? It's COVID related. So, oh shoot. So how much DSM get them though at Germany?
I don't think Gnabry will be back. Neither Verratti. Verratti have COVID too, and that's why he didn't turn up. So if they're playing next week, I'm not sure they turn up.
Well, if Lewandowski is back and probably Tolisso, because Tolisso was missing too. If Lewandowski and at least Tolisso are back, then Bayern still in with a chance. But I mean, they can keep the ball all day and do all that they want. What PSG is doing good, and with the speed of Mbappe, you don't need anything else. Is not sit back like a Mourinho kind of sit back, but defend solid and then hit them on the break. You know that second pass. I mean that last goal, that Di Maria pass was a thing of beauty. You know, and that Neymar pass to Marquinhos. I mean, even after I see the replay, I still say this must offside. There's no way in picky mode so good. You know, there's no way Marquinhos made such a perfect time run. But yeah, that's what PSG can do to them. So PSG will let them have the ball because they know that Bayern is that kind of team. They're gonna possess the ball. Even if they might play against 1974 Brazil, they're gonna want to possess the ball. So PSG is going back home with the lead. I think it's a wrap for Bayern.
1 second before winning. I just want to say one last thing. Personally, injury forced Bayern today in a two of them best decision them ever make. Because when they bring out Alaba and wait him again, the left back.
Alphonso Davies.
When they bring out Alphonso Davies and Alaba for Soul and I forgot who else go off. That was the best two changes they made because and Goretzka. It kind of changed the game and then finally have the speed and everything to match them upside down. Because when Mbappe was playing against Soul and them The man said about the fly past so little so like you know, but
Alaba was in the game. Alaba went to midfield to replace Goretzka in midfield.
That may I say. But may I say is that in the middle of the park, what may I try to say is that everything get more competitive and the speed of the game increase and better for them. Because initially, brother, the game was kind of real, you know, it was in the favor of a PSG, if you understand what me I try to say. And I think them two substitutions will happen because the injury eventually end up changing the game in the favor of Bayern Munich. Because ever since them two substitutions happen, if you really think about it, Bayern Munich really dominate the game after that. I know we have the last goal where them score, the PSG score, but I feel Bayern Munich dominate the game after that.
Yeah. So, how I look at this game, it was one of the best games I've seen all year, honestly. You know, very good football, top quality football all over. But we have to just harpen back to, man, Neymar is on another level, bro. Like the two passes, the one to when he dribbled at the center house and then he passed it to Mbappe wide open. You know, when you talk about stars have to be stars. There's no way Neuer is supposed to allow that ball to go to his leg. But it's fine. We understand he was kicked very hard from close range. But he's still a star, right? And some people argue that he's still one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So it's neither here nor there. But, you know, when you talk about that shouldn't really go to your leg. And then the pass that he made to Marquinhos was, like, phenomenal. Like, nobody else saw it. So when you talk about a level, PSG had the two best players. And it wasn't the two best players like, oh, I'm just 1A, 1B. It's like they're 1A and everybody else is B. And that was the only difference in this game because Bayern Munich dominated this game. I mean, they got shocked so early in the game. Bayern Munich dominated the game. Müller, we always talk about people missing goal, right? So them kick a ball from out of the 18 and the keeper save it. That's nothing. Them something like half or 1/3 chance. But we're talking about Müller miss. We don't see Müller miss goal on top of the 6 all that much. Ever since 2014, many years back. Müller don't do that. Alaba missed 2 of them in the box too. Sane was running towards the right and he opened up with the keeper, with Greg's favorite keeper. And instead of kicking the ball at the goal, he tried to pass it and they intercepted the ball. Ridiculous. Like some stuff is like them get frightened in the big moments. And Sane and the keeper, and he's to the right of the keeper. And he can kick, he has the window to kick the ball at the keeper. And he said, oh, let me pass the ball to the person to the right, and they intercepted it, right? So how I look at the game is that PSG has a problem with the way Hansi Flick set up the team. The next game, I think it's going to be more high scoring than this because I think Bayern Munich is going to feel hard done by the results because they were wasteful, right? For someone to only score 1 goal after kicking 30-something shots, double digits on target, and you almost score 1 goal against a team will not even create half the chances what you score, you're gonna feel horrible. It's gonna be a great game next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, whichever day it is, right? It's gonna be a great game. And because of a wonder, me not give Navas no credit, bro. Me not give Navas no credit because the man kicked the ball upon Navas. He didn't even move. Right? Like we can't credit the keeper for that. Müller kicked the ball upon the man. Oh, we can't give no credit for that, right? Well, he made a couple good saves, but I mean,
he had a good game.
Shane, hold on, Shane. Me not cut you. Jiggy, somebody disagree with you. Darren Morgan in the comment section disagree with you. Let me say, think that was the best player on the day, Kimmich.
No, Kimmich played. No. Hold on. These are different. Kimmich played well, right? But Kimmich is not in the class of Neymar and Mbappe.
The comment on the day.
Those two players were the difference in the game. Weren't they were the two players who had the difference in the game. Those 2 Neymar passes and the 3rd Mbappe goal. So what are we debating here? That me nah go off of how me feel. The 2 best players had the 3 best moments in the game to finish off Bayern Munich.
You have to give credit to Di Maria Pastor. You just have to talk about them that play there alone.
Yo, that's because you're Argentinian, bro. Tell the fans that you're Argentinian, bro. Tell them you're Argentinian.
The Mbappe first goal, make sure I forget when they go. I'm losing train of thought. The Mbappe first goal, I mean, that was sloppy on Neuer's part.
No, all absolutely.
Right. Shane, the floor is yours.
All right, so See, we can't lose track of, again, it was a good game. But we have to understand what PSG want to do, right? They want to soak up pressure. And they would concede a lot of chances. But we have to look on quality chances. You know what I mean? The one where Thomas Muller missed, when people, I actually thought he was offside. But the ball forward over and he kind of fluffed it. But in the end, the tie is still up in, it's still balanced. It's still finely poised. I think that PSG missed Verratti, who has been playing as a number 10 and has been helping them to pass the ball. Because if you notice, and this is why Neymar is so great and intelligent, he can drop back in the midfield and he can really help out PSG because they never have an individual that was passing the ball right out of midfield and helping them to alleviate some of the pressure they were under. So, in the end, the game is still in the balance. PSG will try to soak up pressure and hit them on the counter again, and we'll see how it goes. I think that PSG will end up nicking it. That's it, really. I don't have anything else to say.
That's it?
Yeah, well, I mean, what else?
Man, Jiggy is disappointed. Jiggy was expecting a debate. You can't see this.
No, but him agree with me, bro. Him agree with me. I talk about PSG soak up pressure. Bayern Munich fluffed all their chances. This has nothing to do with PSG. Nothing to do with what PSG did.
It's not all their chances. The man that makes a few good saves. Keylor Navas made a few good saves. It's not all their chances they fluff.
I have to give Keylor Navas. I have to give him credit. I'll give him credit. You see, my problem with Keylor Navas is not. He's a great shot stopper. He's in decision making sometimes that I think is questionable. Or like the other day when in the play against Barcelona and everything would go well, and then he just end up and just kick the ball on an individual and nearly kicking in one goal. Them the kind of thing then. Again, I had an idea. Somebody just say, give Mbappe some credit.
Give
him credit. Like, what do you want me to say? I don't have anything else to say about Mbappe. He's great and he show up and he perform. You know, it seems like nothing feels him, and that's what I think of me as with him. It seems like nothing feels him. Like even second half, before second half start, may say funny blood. Saying just look like saying just out for a stroll. You know who used to look like that on the football field? I always notice. I don't know if you remember like people like Zidane back in the days are the real Ronaldo, the fat Ronaldo, as Ferguson once said. People who just feel like you just feel like and just dip on the field and just have a stroll out. Not a care in our world, but they're unbelievable confident in them ability. That's the kind of feeling you get when you watch Mbappe. Quality player. An idea this tie is still in a balance because it's two top quality teams. And you already know how the quarter night game go set up for second half. Marquinhos is gonna be a huge miss for PSG. Absolutely huge, because him is, I don't know if you noticed in the first half, like Colin Dagba when they get rinsed by Coleman. And Marquinhos had to be helping him out. You understand? So he really is the one of Marshall in defense. And if him not play, it's gonna be an issue for PSG to close this out. Go ahead.
So we could be sticking up. Go ahead, Bojo.
No, me just say that why thing they never start with Davis on the left side with that pace. Why Davis is there on the bench?
Was probably going for somebody more defensively solid. That's why he started.
Same thing.
That's why he started Theo Hernandez out there. Or which are the Hernandez brothers? Are Theo de Bayern or Theo de Milan? I have to remember. But yeah, that's why he started with Hernandez out there. Because remember, Hernandez can play center back as well, so he's more defensively solid. He's not as quick as Fanzo, but you know he has enough speed to burn. So I think that's why he started with Hernandez out there.
You see a man say put Paredes back in midfield. No, he was out this game. He wasn't available. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he can catch COVID too. But that would be a good show because he has been good this season, Leandro Paredes. But again, he wasn't available. I don't know if it was yellow card or what.
Yo, Argentina are good players, bro.
Gotta agree. Next international break, we talk about that. So, is it safe to say we could be seeing Mbappe versus Haaland semi-final?
I'm gonna tell you again.
I'm not saying anything. Just I watch football.
Again, it will be beautiful. I would love to see that. Cause again, but everybody says City are the best team. Like J.R. Thomas says City are the best team. Some more have to see best versus the best. You know what I mean? But
the PSG City.
Yeah.
So remember,
City are gonna knock them out for the puck.
Zidane led Real is still in there. He hasn't gotten this far in the Champions League and not won it. Remember that.
Yeah.
So you have to be wary of him. Bujo, you know you are the moderator. You probably try to end it because almost 2 hours. But somebody did ask earlier about the championship. Quickly. What do you think?
What do you think?
All right, let me give my view. Now I wish them come back up. Now I wish them come back up right away. Buendia, who Arsenal did link with, actually me like 2 players them have, Buendia and Todd Cantwell. Both of them will play good stuff down there, you know. Norwich look a lock right now to get promoted. Second place, Watford. Me not really want my Watford in league because they're not offer much. They just come on face.
I think more coming back.
Huh?
I think Bournemouth coming back.
Bournemouth, they're in the playoffs right now.
Jack Roche back in the Premier League.
Well, them have a game in hand still.
Well, Shane. Well, Brentford is the next team Brentford they're 3rd place, but that's a playoff spot right now. I would like to see Brentford get promoted finally. You know, I think them team have a buzz, but Swansea with the next Jamaican striker, what name?
Jamal Lowe.
Yeah, them are play decent and them in the playoffs right now too. But it look like Norwich is set to make a return.
Max Aaron is my favorite player for Norwich, I may say.
That's good. So they stick with Daniel Farker too, you know, because he was a good manager. Yeah. They stick with him and them kind of get rewarded again. Sometimes when you get relegated, it makes sense to just dash your manager that brought you up prematurely. You understand what I mean? That's what I thought when Sheffield United get rid of their manager. I thought, like, again, I don't think it was an indictment on the manager. It's just that they wasn't good enough. You know, so again, it's a good thing that they kept with the manager, and then they get rewarded again.
Yeah, Shane, I think the difference between Sheffield United and Norwich though is that where Sheffield was last season compared to was this season, it was a big drop to compare to how they performed last season versus this season. So Norwich forward up and just go back down, you know. So it wasn't as a big of a, you know.
But that Sheffield team overachieved.
Exactly, Greg. Go ahead.
That Sheffield team overachieved.
That's because they have the general goalkeeper Anderson in the goal. You see me I say? When you think about it, he's the only person that really got missing from that side, and all of a sudden now them cannot make it. So you hear me I say? Big Anderson, De Gea, PSG next season, go on over that side.
Which of the
PSG? Premier Spanish Leon. I can't PSG.
It would be sad for him now, which come back up and he lose Buendia right away still, but it might happen.
Football is not a sentimental goal.
Them when see
from last time.
I think that's Norwich level, bro. I think that's Norwich level.
I feel some Max Aaron leave too.
Championship, man. Them do very well down there.
They steal my money. So when they get a second money, they might buy some players, man.
What them do with the Ben Godfrey money?
You can look at the money, bro.
The champion, the Premier League money they got last year when they came up into the league before they went back down, right? They never spent that and buy like Aston Villa. They didn't do what Aston Villa and Everton did. Well, Everton was already in, but they didn't do what Aston Villa did. They didn't do what Fulham did. Fulham bought a ton of players and people are looking at players like, who are these players?
100 million.
Right?
Look at that.
So they didn't spend the money. So when they come back up next year or next season, them get what? two Premier League money in 3 years, then should buy a couple players and keep the players they have to try and compete. Unless they want to go back down again. Unless it's a player, then go back down and get the next 100 million every 2 years.
But remember, Max,
Isn't the 100 million only for winning the playoffs? I don't think it's for the playoff final. I don't think it's for winning the championship. I think it's that game, the playoff final. You get the 100 million for.
When you enter into the Premier League, then give you money.
Them give money, Greg.
Okay, well, no, but
we get
winning the
100
playoff
million.
final, you get 100 million additional.
I don't know how much them get. Me just know say Fulham did spend 100 million when them did get promoted.
Yeah, man. When you win the playoff finals, man, it's a big prize. It's a big prize.
Promoted to, if you are the first person, all the teams that promoted the Premier League get a big money to buy players or do whatever they want to do with it.
What them left back the name last year? Because I know Godfrey alone them sell the left back too. What was his name again?
Left back.
I know Aaron's was the right back. Was it Jack? No.
Remember the left back.
Jamal Lewis.
You bought it there, Newcastle.
Yes, you're right, Greg. Yes, I was going to say Jamal Murray, but he plays for the Denver Nuggets.
Jamal Lewis. Newcastle.
Newcastle now, yeah.
Yeah, they did sell him too. So yeah.
I'm telling you something. Max Aaron is supposed to be the one that somebody's supposed to buy. Max Aaron is better. But yeah, that's
Bayern was interested. Bayern was interested in Max Aaron's, but now it's all price.
Arsenal are interested.
He might play for Jamaica still, so as our new right back over
Aaron's? No,
still waiting on the England.
Walker Peters.
Walker Peters.
That's a better shout.
When you say go play for right back on Jamaica, I think you know talk about why name. Mikel Antonio.
Max Aaron can make Jamaica. Max Aaron can make England team, bro. But as well, let's come on Jamaica.
In young
though. You're mad, but right now England right back are the most right back them have ever.
Bro,
if you realize the England right back them young.
A Kyle Walker, the only all England right back, and Trippier still 1920s, bro. Reece James, how much? 19, 20? Man,
Lamptey about 6, Greg. Lamptey about 6.
Yeah, Aaron's the Lord on him.
How old is Matthew Cash?
That man not making me excited.
I'm like rubbish, bro.
Hold on, I thought get me here. The last something they said, you have Cash and somebody else for an interview, And the youth from Leeds. Leeds? I don't want to make up anything.
Which Cash? The Caucasian dude from Villa?
From Villa. Right back.
I saw Southgate more that in an interview, Not mine.
I like Cash is having a good season. I like him.
Yeah, you're messy. I think a good season alone to listen, brother. I can't tell right now. I'm about the 15th option in England right back right now.
He's having man asked about Trent, and the coach said, we have a lot of fullbacks, whatever. And then him put in and said Matthew Cash and the youth from Leeds. I said, look at those players. Those players didn't even get called. I don't mean say the coach, so that's on the coach radar. What do you want me to know about it?
Luke Ayling is a very good player and he should get called up.
Not going nowhere. Make it right now. England wing back, them left back and right back. Not happening. Left back just
player, Luke Ayling.
It's a good player, man.
Yeah. Speaking about international players, then would you see the kiddo Taylor Hart, the young Arsenal youth? See him to Jamaica rumors that heat up more and more.
A real thing, man. Him actually try get him passport done and all of that thing. A real thing.
It's a beauty to see all the players coming in.
If they want to forward this young, that's a good thing.
That's what I'm saying. I think Jamaica have a cut-off point where after 23 or 21,
it's time to start molding the team together. An actual team.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. We have to get the local.
Anyway, we're not gonna start a conversation here. That's a different line.
Yeah, all right, the line over now. Anyways, I'm gonna start.
Yeah.
This was
topic.
preview tomorrow. Game I play Friday, man.
Fulham play Friday. Oh, and Arsenal play
Tomorrow
Man U
we did the preview.
Yeah, man, preview.
All right, manners and respect, you know, me out, man.
Yo,
Call my wife before.
what time was it? What time tomorrow?
Yo, me had that Florida tomorrow, man. As soon as I left work.
Yeah,
Anyway.
man.
Anyways,
JR,
that's
you
it.
be available
Thanks for
tomorrow?
watching Full Sports TV.
Yeah, man. Of course.
JR. All right, you finished now?
Respect to people for commenting and all.
Yeah.
Man.
That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the comments, everything. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new here, Full Sports TV. Like us on Instagram at Full Sports TV and on Facebook. It's your boy Abuja King. Respect Jiggy, Greg, Shane, and JR for holding it down for the night. And have a blessed night. Thank you, guys. Out.
Yeah, man.
No, I remember
girls.
Remember snip Jiggy part where him said the foolishness and send in a group chat real quick there because more of that for record.
Brother, that's granted.
Respect.
Yeah.